So this next song is called Foster Love. It's really special, and we were working on this yesterday because so Lynn Price has committed her life and her organization to reconnecting children from foster care with their biological siblings. And so that title, Foster Love, and the lyrics, which we'll hear Jesse sing, are very symbolic because not only does Lynn do this, but Lynn herself was in foster care, and she helped to connect. She sought to connect with her biological siblings, so she's coming at it from experience. And Shaina Taub, who wrote the song, is a young, phenomenal composer. I think she has a show that's just opening right now. Just wrapped composing a Broadway musical with Elton John, and she does a lot of different things in different genres. She's great. So, Jesse.
So I invite you to be strong. I'll help you find a place where you belong. You are my sister, you are my brother. We will champion and cherish one another. Together we will foster love. We will foster love. Together we will foster love. We will foster love. I hear you, child. Been down this road myself before. I felt divided once too, but I found my way, and I recognize my responsibility to shine as a beacon for you. So I will offer you acceptance with no fear. I'll support you for as long, gently as you are here. So use your voice to find your song. You deserve a chance to sing along. You are my sister, you are my brother. We will strengthen and encourage one another. Together we will foster love. We will foster love. Together we will foster love. We will foster love. You are my sister, you are my brother. We will be courageous victors with each other. Together we will foster love. We will foster love. Together we will foster love. We will foster love. We will foster love. We will foster love. Woo!
That is so great. So I mean, well, tell us a little bit about your connection with this song.
When I first heard this song, I made a different connection to it. So found family and like my friends and the people that I choose to love have been very important people in my life to me. And so this song is not only about like finding the people who you're connected to just from like the start of your life, but also the people that you form these really strong bonds with like later in life, and how you build that love and trust.
I love that. You should say that before you sing. It's really well said. And so you found a way to connect to the lyrics. You do a great job with the piece. I mean, and even we worked together yesterday, and you've already come so far since yesterday, so I'm processing that. So a couple of things. One, singing with a mic is very different from singing with without a mic. And the challenge is that we don't always get to practice singing with a mic when we have to, right? So I would say for any and all of you, even if you're consider yourself a classical singer, it's a good thing to just practice a few times singing with a mic, because you never know when you're going to be asked to be in that situation. I mean, I've done national anthems classically, but in a situation where I have to be mic'd. And so part of it is understanding how do you hear yourself when you're mic'd. Now, in your case, I think you have a very good grasp of it, but I'm just saying this kind of for the benefit of everybody. Practice with a mic. Talk to me if you want to get some information. You can buy a really inexpensive mic on Amazon for less than $20. You plug it in with a USB-C adapter, whatever it is these days, and there you go, boom, you can practice. It's definitely worth investing a little time on that. Now, you tell us, Jessie, what do you notice is easier with the mic and what's harder?
It's so much easier just to project.
Yeah.
Because you don't actually have to worry about volume and like reaching the crowd. You just kind of can like almost sit back and relax in that regard.
Yeah.
So like I'm not thinking so much about like breath control and like projecting as much as like classical singers. The thing that is harder is knowing where your hands are supposed to be.
Knowing where your
hands are supposed to be.
Yes.
Because holding the mic, I've learned this the hard way. A lot of people have told me like when I'm holding the mic, like sometimes like people have or collect bad habits of like turning away from the mic, and so like
right.
Like of course like that's when the mic is not going to pick you up and people won't hear what you're trying to,
right.
sing.
So when we sing classically, we often are trying to understand our resonators, right? And the mic is sort of this built-in mic. But when the mic is external, if you just tilt a little bit, then it's going to pick up less sound. By the same token, if you're doing the same amount of consonants that we were working, let's say with Gabriella earlier, then that's going to kind of produce a lot of spit into your mic, right? So it's just a matter of practice. Practice, practice, practice. It's worth it, and for the hand movements as well, right? So one thing I'm thinking, just along the lines of text, I actually wondered if this could go a hair slower to give you more time, especially in the low parts, because there is a lot of dense text there. How would that feel for you if we go just a hair slower? By the way, guys, she's awesome. A lot of these songs are written for like a jazz pianist or someone who just like this song. They're literally are just chords, like not even a chord. It's just a key, and she is doing it and doing it so well. Thank you. Which is another thing too, right? So a classical versus a non-classical pianist. And these are just all things that we as singers need to negotiate. And increasingly, if you're a classical singer, you should have some understanding of non-classical traditions and vice versa. So why don't we just go from the beginning, and I would take it slower. And Jessie, focus as much as you can on the words like you were speaking. Because you've got that mic right there. It's going to pick it up just like you were talking. So put all of your emphasis on just talking that text through at the beginning, yeah? Let's try that.
I see you, child. I know you've been torn away from your family and everything you've ever known.
Okay, it's really, really good. I'm going to talk to you. Because you're wearing a mask,
Yes.
bring it up a little bit more.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just a little bit
Okay.
closer. And I like the tempo already more. Give me more text.
Okay.
Let's keep going right where we stopped. Is that nice part? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
From when?
let's see.
You okay?
The second. Well, just go for the beginning. That's going to be easier, yeah. Right at the beginning, right where you took me, Jessie.
I see you, child. I know you've been torn away from your family and everything you've ever known. I see you down there in the dark, thinking you are nobody, headed to nowhere alone. But don't believe that broken myth about your soul.
That's so good. And that tempo all of a sudden just lets you relax.
Yeah.
Now when you go up, you can take it even slower. This is a big part of it, is just understanding that when you're
You can even say, I want this key, and I'm going to slow down here. But in order to make all of those decisions, you have to have the strategy, right? And you have to think through it. And that's your homework, is really going through and saying, okay, this is where I'm going to stretch it, this is where I'm going to come back, etc. I would also say at the very beginning, I see you, child, da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. That's low,
Yeah.
so you can change it. Come up with something alternative, da-da-da-dum. I see you, child, da-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum, da-da-da-dum-bum. So you can, I would just alter it so that you don't feel like you have to go down there, which is again part of the ad-lib situation. I think your teachers here would agree, like everyone, we want you to succeed, and in a performance or in an audition setting, know your strengths and play on those strengths, right? It's always important for us to improve the things we're not as good at, but in a performance setting, if those notes are feeling like grovelly low in your range, and I know you have the notes, but just, find a flip, find an alternative that's going to suit your voice better. Yeah? Cool. I'm talking too much and we don't have so much time. So why don't we go, can we just take it at the beginning again and work through that so that I want to get to the foster love, but when you go up to don't believe, yeah, all that, you can stretch your tempo.
Okay.
Yeah? Just so you feel comfortable.
I see you, child. I know you've been torn away from your family and everything you've ever known. I see you down there in the dark, thinking you are nobody, headed to nowhere alone. But don't believe the broken myth about your soul. You have a right to reunite with the ones who make you whole. So I invite you to be strong. I'll help you find a place where you belong. You are my sister, you are my brother. We will champion and cherish one another. Together we'll foster love. We'll foster love. Together we'll foster love. We will foster love.
Ooh, that was so nice. Do y'all hear the difference it makes when she takes her time in it? And so what I saw with that plan was at the beginning, first of all, I love how you flipped those notes on the spot. You came up with something that's absolutely great for your voice. But you're focused on the text, right? Then, but don't believe, you're slowing it down. And then you get into the foster love and we're like with you. Like then we want to go into that jam section. And all of a sudden that gives us a journey. And so it's not just like the same song, the same pattern, it's a whole journey. You add onto that the emotion of it, we're with you, we want to go on that journey. And then we're like, hey, let's do it again, we got a whole other verse to go. One small thing, when you're sustaining those lines on like foster love, again, you can riff, you can do whatever you want. But my suggestion in general is when you have a long line like that, totally fine to start it straight, but do feel free to bring in your vibrato. And you did that. I'm just kind of pointing it out. I think it's sometimes a singer might want to bring it in late or not bring it in at all. And I love that all of you are using like such beautiful vibratos and your full voices. So, you did exactly that. And I would say like, feel free to even add that in a little bit more. Don't be afraid of vibrato just because you're doing something that's more pop, let's say. Yeah? Can we go to the second verse?
I hear you, child, 'cause I have been down this road myself before. I felt divided once too. I found my way, and I recognize my responsibility to shine as a beacon for you. So I will offer you acceptance with no fear. I'll support you with no judgment as long as you are here. So use your voice to find your song. You deserve a chance to sing along. You are my sister, you are my brother. We will strengthen and
it was fantastic. And just keep playing with ornaments. Like the more you do it, I think the more you're gonna feel comfortable. Definitely, this is a song for a mic. I mean, no question. So don't feel badly to say I need a mic to do this. You know, it's definitely comes around. Thank you, Jessie.
Thank you so much.